Yo, what is good, Sixer Nation? DFJ Hoops here, back again with another show. I haven't been on in a long time since the season started, but dealing with a little bit of illness. But nonetheless, we're still here. We're back in full effect. And the 76ers, man, we got to talk about the 76ers. I'm going to talk about the Sixers, talk about Tyrese Maxey's leap as a player, VJ Edgecombe's rise as a rookie, and then we're going to talk about everybody else too. But as y'all come on, please make sure y'all smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I see my boy RJ in the building. Appreciate you, RJ. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. I mean, hey, hold on. I gotta make RJ a mod, but yeah, I think I'm gonna probably do it later on. But yeah, let me just do this right quick. Yep. Salute to my guy BJ as well. Appreciate you. Yeah, we battled we battled the what you call it, the Celtics 2 games. We split. We beat them on opening night. They beat us in the in season tournament. But yeah, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Salute to my guy, humble man 420. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yo, we got things to discuss. Absolutely. Hey, RJ, I dropped the link earlier. You know, that's a priority. I dropped it. If you want to hit the link and then we can talk about it, we can definitely get into it. Right. But salute to my guy Humble though. Salute to him. Salute to the Cleveland Cavaliers. We take on Cleveland on Wednesday, so I'm gonna probably have Tune In Sports on the show, probably on Wednesday or Thursday. So can't wait for that. But yeah, but RJ, yeah, I dropped the link. If you want to hit the link and we can talk earlier. Yeah, we can do that. But yeah, I can start and get into what I'm about to get into. So the 76ers, as of right now, as we speak right now, the Sixers are the first seed in the Eastern Conference, which is a huge surprise, right? A very huge surprise because people did not have the Sixers early on, or to start off the season, people didn't have the Sixers as the first seed, right? People have the Sixers out the top, out the top 10. People had them in the play-in. I think ESPN had them out the play-in, right? But I think the 76ers playing good. First of all, we got to give Tyrese Maxey a lot of credit for this, right? So first of all, Tyrese has to get a lot of credit. Now, last season, I did criticize Maxey for his part in the Sixers, not being as successful last season. But I mean, to his defense, the 76ers were dealing with a lot of injuries. A lot of guys were in and out the lineups, and that contributed to the Sixers not being the team that they were supposed to be last season, right? But even though Maxey played, he played the most of the games. He did the best that he could have done, right? But there are certain times where I felt like he could have elevated the team to success, and he wasn't able to do it. There are other times where easy plays where he could have made to help the Sixers win some close games down the line, down the stretch of the games where he wasn't making those plays. But this season, it's been something completely different. But I don't want to start with Tyrese Maxey. I want to start with the front office. First of all, I think Daryl Morey should get a lot of credit too, right? I think Daryl Morey should get a lot of credit. And seems like I got my guy RJ in the building. What's good, RJ? What's good? What's good?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can hear you
All
clearly.
right. All right, I was gonna let you start the show, get you, you know what I mean, get you through the roster, but yo,
Mm-hmm.
we got shit to discuss, bro. I ain't gonna lie,
Hey
yo.
man, I'm here for it, bro. I got all the time in the world for it.
You know what I'm saying? But let go ahead. You know what I mean, start the show, man. I'm gonna be right here though.
All right, cool. Appreciate it. I think Daryl Morey should get a lot of credit. Now, I think with Daryl Morey, sometimes the moves that he makes, right, like the signing of the older players, the signing of Kyle Lowry, the signing of Eric Gordon, like those kind of moves and certain things that he says in the media, sometimes kind of overshadows the good things that he does, right? First of all, Daryl Morey as as somebody who drafts, some of these rookies, I think Daryl Morey has done a very, very good job, right? If we remember, he drafted Maxey, right? He drafted Maxey. He drafted Jared McCain. Now, people were not really high or sold on Jared McCain, even though me personally, I was one of them, right? I didn't really believe in Jared McCain, but Jared McCain got on the court and proved us all wrong and showed us what he was capable of doing. Now, speaking of Jared McCain, he dealt with injuries and he is available to play tonight against the Chicago Bulls. So I'm gonna definitely be watching that closely. He's probably gonna be on minutes restrictions. He's not gonna play a lot of minutes because he's dealing with that thumb injury. But glad to see somebody else, with the Sixers dealing with a ton of injuries. Glad to see him come in, to the team and playing for the team and seeing where the Sixers can go. But Daryl Morey should get a lot of credit because some of the moves that he made this offseason were very, very huge. I know people were not sold on it. I mean, drafting of VJ Edgecombe was very, very huge for the Sixers because he's gotten on the team and he just fit perfectly with the Sixers unit right now. Originally, I wanted the Sixers to get somebody else. I'm not going to say who that player is, but everybody know who that player is. But VJ Edgecombe has been very, very impressive. Right, VJ Edgecombe has been very, very, very impressive with this team. How he plays, his skill set, what he's capable of doing, the defense, everything fits what the Sixers are trying to do, and his skill set really is what the Sixers were needing last season. Right, I think the Sixers were not as good last season because for number one, the Sixers did deal with a ton of injuries. Right, the Sixers had a lot of injuries, and when you got guys in and out the lineups, it kind of the chemistry is not there, the cohesion is not there, and it kind of messes up with the flow of the team. But I think this year, role players are stepping up huge than they did last season. I mean, when you're speaking of role players, like Kelly Oubre has been very, very huge for the Sixers. He had a breakout game against the Brooklyn Nets on Sunday, which was very, very huge for the Sixers. And in other games, other guys have been stepping up too. Andre Drummond has had his moment. Other guys have had their moments too. But when you talk about Daryl Morey and the moves that he made, one of the moves that was very, very underrated was the signing or the picking up of Dominic Barlow. Now, Dominic Barlow hasn't played a ton of games for the Sixers. He played in only, one or two games. I think he's dealing with injury right now. But the game against the Boston Celtics was very, very impressive, right? The game against the Celtics was impressive. He started as the starting power forward right next to Joel Embiid and was a Kelly Oubre, and he was very, very impressive, right? Running the floor, playing some good defense, getting rebounds. There was a lot of plays where Sixers shot it. He got the offensive rebound and was able to secure the Sixers offensive rebounds for the Sixers to get a second shot at scoring. Right, he got a ton of offensive rebounds in that game, and that really got the Sixers going. Right, it got Maxey going because Maxey was able to use his speed, use his use his speed to beat defenders off the dribble and get to the basket and shoot. Make some layups and also get to the free throw line as well, right? Giving the Sixers, second chance opportunities, right? And also he was playing some good defense. Now he did struggle with Jaylen Brown, which I mean, a lot of players are going to struggle with Jaylen Brown because Jaylen Brown is one of the best guards slash forwards in the league. And Jaylen Brown, once he puts that shoulder in your chest, there's not too much you can do, especially with a 21, 22-year-old trying to keep up with a Jaylen Brown. That's going to be very, very difficult, right? But I think one thing that he needs to do is to get in the gym and work on those three-pointers, right? He has to work on those threes, and because teams leave him wide open. And we saw that in the Boston Celtics game where they were leaving him wide open, but he did make some of those shots. And other times where they left him wide open when the defender was not watching, guess what? He was able to move off ball, backdoor cut, and get some easy opportunities at the rim. Right? So that's something that he brings to the team that the Sixers really, really need. And also in defensively, he's able to grab rebounds, able to rim protect to a certain degree. The defense on the perimeter is not all that great, especially if he has to keep up with some of these guards. It's very, very difficult. But if he's guarding some of these forwards, these wings, I think he can definitely hold his own, right? But one thing he needs to do is to get in the gym and work on that upper body strength, right? Work on that upper body strength and also work on those threes. If he can get stronger and make threes very, very consistently, the Sixers will probably he might stick with the Sixers for a very, very, or at least for the very near future. He'll probably be with the team for the very near future, right? So that's a shout out to Daryl Morey for picking up a diamond in the rough type player on Dominic Barlow's caliber, and he's also young too. Like I said, he's about 21 and 22 years old, right? Another move was the Jabari Walker signing too. Now, Jabari Walker, I think he's much better coming off the bench. Now, he's been starting for the Sixers. He started the last two games because Dominic Barlow has been dealing with injuries. But when he comes off the bench, he's able to play with a ton of energy, and he's able to get a lot of opportunities as well coming off the bench. Because the Sixers, their main scorer off the bench is the grind machine, Quentin Grimes, right? So when he's able to draw all those attention, all those defenders around him, he's able to make plays. And players like Jabari Walker are able to benefit off of that because he's drawing so much attention. So I think he should come off the bench. But when players are injured, yeah, of course, you're gonna have to play somebody. Somebody's gonna have to start. And in this case, they're giving Jabari Walker all these opportunities as a starter, and he's making the most out of it. Right. Not all the time, but sometimes he's making the most out of it. But ideally, I think if he comes off the bench, that'd be much better for him. Let me go through a few of these comments right here. He says the Bulls and the Sixers are exciting. 8 p.m. tonight, everyone. Absolutely. We're all going to be watching the game. And hopefully the Sixers can win this one and solidify themselves as the first seed because the two teams have identical records. Flight Square here, appreciate you for tuning in. If you've not subscribed to the channel, you can consider subscribing. He said, Morey killed it as a GM, turned an old squad to a young stud. Just flipping Caleb for Grimes is a goated move. Yeah, it definitely is. Now, initially, I was not too happy with that move because, I was a Caleb fan. I really love Caleb Martin, what he brought to the team offensively and also how he carried himself off the court. I really liked everything about him. But, he was too injury prone, too inconsistent, and they flipped that move. They got Quentin Grimes, and Quentin Grimes just came in and he was just going off, right? He was just going off. But I'm gonna get to Quentin Grimes in a few minutes here. But Daryl Morey, like I said, he's done a good job with the team. Even though he signed those two old players, right? And those two old players could be seen as something negative. But I think overall, me personally, I'm not gonna focus on those two moves. I'm gonna focus on the other things that he did great. Drafting VJ Edgecombe, signing these other guys that people didn't really think about, right? These forward guys that the Sixers desperately needed for this team to be successful. The Sixers really needed some forwards. They really needed some wings, right? Now last season, you had Kelly Oubre, Justin Edwards was a rookie. You had all these guys, but this year it's been a little different because these guys are really helping the Sixers when it comes to the rebounding and having guys with length and size that can contest and contest on the perimeter and also give you some interior presence as well.
Oh, D, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, like with that, I feel like Maury had the confidence in going this route because he saw what the Pacers and what the OKC
Okay.
did. So he was able to stop power those type of players. So it was a real good move for him, man. I really see the vision where he's trying to go. So I'm gonna give him I'm gonna put a feather in his cap right now. So
Yeah, 100%. Especially looking at the Pacers. The Pacers made the finals last season. They got to the conference finals the year before, and they had a very, very deep team. And if he's going that route, that'd be very, very helpful for us too, because the Sixers are in the Eastern Conference, and the Six. It's a copycat league at the end of the day. So if something works for one team, it might work for you. So why not go the same route and try to incorporate those same philosophies into your team and try to make your team better and give Maxey, give him, some options offensively, give some of these other guys options offensively as well, and not try to play these guys a ton of minutes. Now, Maxey's leading the league in minutes played. I think playing 42, 43 minutes a night. Me personally, I'm all for it. He's young, don't have a lot of miles on his legs, so I'm all for it. But, speaking of Maxey, let me pivot to Maxey a little bit. First of all, Maxey has been playing some very, very good basketball to start off the season, right? Now, last year was a little bit different, but I think he's much better this season than he was last year. For number one, he's gotten more experience, right? He went through what he went through last year, with the losing. I think that was a learning experience, right? Sometimes, sometimes you have to fail. It does sound crazy, but sometimes you got to fail in order to know how to win, right? And Maxey went through it, with the losing streaks. His performance sometimes was a little bit shaky. He had some good games where, he scored, playmate, did whatever, helped the Sixers give victories. And then there were other times where, nothing was falling for him. And, you could see the frustration on his face. But I think this year has been a little bit more different because, he went through that and he learned from it, number one. And number two, he also worked on his game. One thing that I've noticed from Maxi is that he's getting to the free throw line a lot more this season, right? Um, Comparing this season to last season, now I know it's a small sample size, but let's just make the comparison real quick. Last season, he was only attempting 6 free throws a game, right? But this year he's attempting 10 free throws a game, right? So he's able to, drive to the basket, go down low aggressively, and he's learned how to draw fouls. Now, drawing fouls is a skill, right? Now, people are gonna say, oh, it's free throw merchant, is this, is that, but I mean, those are legitimate ways of putting the ball in the basket, right? It's been going on since the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. I have no problem when guys get to the free throw line, right? The great scorers get to the free throw line, right? And Maxi has incorporated that into his game, and he's able to, go down low aggressively. And because he's able to draw these fouls, it's opened up a lot of angles for him, and he's able to make a lot of reads, right? Making a lot of reads, playmaking other opportunities like that, and making the game very, very much easy for him, right? Because last year, one thing from Maxi you would see from him is that he'll try to take on 3 defenders at a time to try to finish at the rim. But this year, we're not really seeing that, right? And with his ability to, get to the rim, be aggressive, draw fouls, his ability to stop and pop in the mid range and, make a few middies, it's opened up the game for him. And he's able to dominate from the 3 point line as well, right? Now he's shooting 42 or 43% from the 3 point line, or much. I mean, it's much better. It's 46%, right? On high volume, right? He's attempting 9 threes, and he's shooting 46% from the 3 point line. That's some Steph Curry shit, right? That's some Curry shit, and he's able to do it because he has found a way to make the game much easier for him, right? And he's able to get others involved in the game as well, right? Get some of these guys involved, and with VJ Edgecombe right next to him, it makes it much easier for him as well. It makes it much easier for him because for number one, he's able to play off the ball and get some opportunities, coming off screens, fading away to the top and shooting these open threes, right? That's working for him, right? That's working for him. And number two, I think the role players are stepping up much better than they did last season, right? Number one, Kelly Oubre, like I said, Kelly had a very, very great performance against the Brooklyn Nets where he scored like what 22 points in the first quarter alone. That's unheard of, right? That's unheard of. And then you got Quentin Grimes also, coming off the bench. I think Quentin Grimes is averaging like what 20 points per game coming off the bench. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, he averaging 20.
He averaging 20, right? So that goes to the point that the role players are stepping up and helping out the team much more than they was doing last season. And when you look at the Sixers right now, I think the Sixers have the second best offense in the league. The Sixers are averaging the most points, right, to start. Now, I know it's only 6 games, it's a small sample size, but I mean, you got to give them credit for it, right? Last year, when they were not playing good, the first few games of the season, they were getting criticized. So we got to keep the same energy and give these guys the credit that they deserve. But RJ, I'm gonna pivot to you, and since you said we got a lot to talk about, me, I got a few things off my chest. But I want us to talk about certain things that you got on your mind as well. So
No problem, man. Yo, so coming into this season, I think everybody had no expectation. If you did, you crazy. But I'm say no. But we coming off a bad season, man. So these first 6 games is very encouraging, seeing where we can be. I'm not saying that this I'm one when I'm doing personally, I'm just taking it game by game pause. But I'm gonna just go ahead, just watch game by game, and just you know what I mean. I have no expectations, but I'm loving from what I'm seeing. I loving how the team plays like a team instead of like. Remember last year I was having so many problems with we just watching B play basketball, and when he wasn't there, it's like we had no plan.
right,
So I'm glad that they but like and nurses really using everybody instead of just one person. Or it's just Maxi ball, or it's just you know what I mean. It was McCain ball at one point, or it was the Grimes ball. Like use everybody get everybody involved, let everybody touch the basketball, and you have a better basketball team. And that's the reason why that's why the reason why OKC wins, because they get everybody involved in the game. So everybody feel confident. Everybody feel like they can contribute. And that's just how you win basketball games. And I'm glad that we doing it this way. And it's the reason why we 5-1.
Right. Without Embiid, I mean Embiid has played in games where we've won, but somebody put out this stat which it was a little petty. When Embiid when Embiid doesn't play, the Sixers have won every game that Embiid hasn't played in, which was that was a little crazy because at first the Sixers need Embiid to win a lot of games, but this year they're
Yeah.
doing it with or without him. I think they play better without him than they do with him because when he's on the floor, he's much slower. He's difficulty getting up and down the floor, and the Sixers are very, very fast. They're playing very, very, very fast. I mean, you got Edgecombe and you got Maxey. When they get the ball in transition, I mean, these guys are just pushing the rock and trying to get easy opportunities before the defense gets set, right? And then when you add Jared McCain to it, imagine Jared McCain, sprint to the corner, Maxey with the ball, and then you got Edgecombe also, running the floor, and it's just like it'll give you problems defensively, right? But I
Yeah.
mean, defensively,
I like his role right now though. I this
Mhm.
remember I was telling you that, man, I was like, yo, if if Embiid become like a more all around player, you know what I mean? If he could just he
Right,
don't have to score 30 a night like for us to win. Remember I was saying, I was like, yo, if we could
yeah,
just go ahead and use everybody, we might be a better team. And this is what I was talking about. I'm gonna just keep my optimism because we still don't have it. We don't have the full team all together been playing every night. And we got to see if Embiid is willing to continue to be this way because it's still his team for right now. So we got to see if this is going to be if all the guys are willing to, because you don't want to lose the locker room off one dude, because
right,
Embiid still he's still the star of the team. We just gotta make sure that he is still willing to buy in this style of basketball. That he's not as involved, but he's still, in my opinion, I feel like he playing that old Tim Duncan role when he was about to his later years in his career, where it
right,
wasn't really centering around him. It was more centering around Kawhi and
right,
I mean the others. So we're gonna see what happens, but I really appreciate how he was willing to, I mean, let the other guys eat instead of we just watch him that 4 out 1 in offense, and it's just not working. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
I love that he's a more willing shooter from the three, and he a better to me. I feel like he if he played the four instead of a five, and let Bona play the five or Barlow or whatever, whoever in, if they switch positions, and he's considered a five, but he's a better shooter.
right.
I like that style.
Yeah, I mean, me too. And one thing about it is, when he's in the game at first, like when he gets the ball and he's trying to ISO and try to, establish dominance, you see a lot of people standing around, not doing anything, expecting them to make something happen. But now it's just kind of like it's just different, right? Guys have a lot more, guys are involved more in the offense, and guys are able to, you're able to get the most out of them if they're involved in the offense, right? As opposed to, previous seasons where they were not as much. So, that's why you're able to get to see, VJ Edgecombe, as a rookie, mind you, come into the Six organization and do what he's doing. And then you got also others, contributing at a very, very high level. I think Kelly Oubre is putting up 19, 18 points per game. I mean, I do believe that the points is going to go down, but you get to see Kelly Oubre, give you much more than what he was giving you a few seasons ago because he's more involved in the offense, right? And then you put the ball in VJ Edgecombe's hands, and he's able to make something happen. Which in the past, you didn't really see that too often. It was just Embiid dominate, and just the other just watch him work. But right now, it's just kind of like he's settled. He's not taking a lot. He's not taking a bunch of shots. I mean, sometimes he does ball stop a little bit because I mean that's who he is. And teams and defenses have to respect him for it. But I think that's been limited, and the other guys are able to do more. Which I mean, if you're Embiid, I think if you're Joel Embiid, you should let these guys, let them get their confidence up. So when you get into the postseason, and hopefully if you're healthy, so you can get the most out of them in the playoffs as well. I mean, when we get to the playoffs and the Sixers are still a good team, I mean, you get to dominate, you get to establish your dominance, and help the Sixers, help take the Sixers to heights that they've never been to in a very, very long time. So, but I think for that to happen, the team has to be healthy first and foremost. We haven't even the team is playing very, very good without some of the best contributors, right? They haven't had Jared McCain this as of yet, and also Paul George, right? People haven't really been talking about Paul George as much, and that's because the Sixers are getting a lot out of these role players, right? Trent Watford, he made his debut, had a very, very good game against the Brooklyn Nets, his former team, which Nick Nurse gave him a lot of praise for. I think he came off the bench giving you 16 or 17 points per game. That was very, very huge. And then also you had other guys also giving you significant scoring production too, right? So I think that's a winning formula in my opinion, especially if Embiid buys into it, right? If Embiid buys into it, I think that'll definitely help the Sixers. But as of right now, I know it's still early, but it's been good so far, right? It's been good so far. And one person that I haven't even talked about too is Nick Nurse, right? I think Nick Nurse has made the game easier for Maxey as well with some of the actions that they run. One thing about the Sixers is, I mean, the defense hasn't been good, right? The defense hasn't been good. I mean, as good as they are offensively, defensively, they I think that they rank 20th defensively, right? They rank 20th defensively. So that's something that they got to lock in on. I mean, Adem Bona does give you a lot of great defense. I mean, VJ Edgecombe also gives you a lot defensively when he's on the court, chasing these perimeter guards around, sticking with them. He has an ability to navigate screens and, stay on the head with some of these guys. So his defense is there, but I think the defense collectively as a team has not been good, right? And the offense has been getting them through games. But I think if they really, really want to reach, really, really want to be that good team, I think the one thing they have to do is lock in defensively, right? I think if they lock in defensively, um, they'll be a much better team than they are right now. What you think about that, RJ?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with most of that. But let me go back to your point where
Mm-hmm.
everybody getting involved with oh my bad daughter, my daughter. But let me go back to the Kelly Oubre part, man, because I really do see a different confidence in him. And like you said, when he's able to actually be involved, like he could be a better player. He still got low IQ. Sometimes he still have his Kelly Oubre moments, but
Right.
you can see that some of the guys that was on the team before is like, all right, I know that Embiid gonna pass me the ball, or or not just him, you see the young boy on uh VJ.
Yep.
Like we never seen a more confident rookie in and what, almost
In
20
a
years. What the
long
last time
time.
you seen that? Like you never seen a rookie like that. The last rookie that was that confident was Allen Iverson. So it's kind of cool to see that, like the growth of Joel Embiid and getting his teammates involved, and Tyrese Maxey. I love that he's using his teammates. I love that everybody's getting involved. And so like with the defense though,
Mm-hmm.
I think the defense is always going to struggle because of yeah, I think the defense is going to always struggle because of the style that we're playing right now, and it's a track meet. It's kind of like it remind me of what the Pacers. Remember, when the Pacers was never good in really defense like that until the playoffs
To the
because
playoffs.
everything slowed down.
Right.
But they were trying to just, what I mean, the run up. If anybody could score 150 before the other person, you're gonna win the game. So I'm thinking that's kind of how the style that we're playing. And we get a few stops here and there, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking that like as time go on, things get slower. Injuries start piling up. You know what I mean? I think it will slow down. I just think at that time I'm hoping that everybody is still confident that they still could get theirs, and we'll be okay. Most part, I think when it slow down, I think everybody's just going at a million miles per minute because nobody even played 10 games or 20 games yet. So we'll see. We'll
Right.
see if the styles stay up. But I like it what I'm seeing. But the defense, that like I definitely agree with you. I think the defense definitely have to come up, but I feel like it's just going to do that once we see more. Yeah, once we see the game slow down a little bit. Right now, everybody running like, yeah, I'm seeing the Bulls run like us. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm seeing the Cavs still running you know what I mean, like that a million miles per hour. It's not really a lot of defense going on around the league. So the most defensive teams is kind of the teams that's kind of losing, to be honest with you. But
Yeah,
um
that is true. But even though I think what you call it, the Thunder are playing some good defense. Other teams in the Western Conference are also playing some good defense. The Clippers are playing some good defense, even though they lost to the Miami Heat last night. But I think if the Sixers can, lock in defensively, I think that will separate them from any other team in the Eastern Conference. Even though it's too early, but once they lock in or make that jump defensively, which I mean, I think it's gonna take time, like you said, because I mean they have individual players, locking in defensively. I mean, Adem Bona has a game where he's getting like 5 or 6 blocks. And then VJ Edgecombe, like I said, defensively, he's doing his thing. When you got Quentin Grimes, sometimes coming off the bench and also, taking pride on that side of the floor defensively too. And then also Kelly Oubre, speaking of Kelly Oubre, Nick Nurse did say in the post game interview after the Brooklyn game that he took pride defensively, and him making an impact defensively contributed to him going off offensively, which was very very deep too to a certain degree because Kelly Oubre is a hustle player. He puts in a lot of effort on that side of the floor, and for that to also fuel him offensively, that's definitely huge. But I agree with you. Sometimes low IQ plays. Sometimes in transition, 3-on-1 transition plays where he has to utilize his teammates, but he tries to take it upon himself, and then he ends
Man, hold
up.
on. He had an easy oop on that next joint. I'm like, bro, pass that. Even Maxie looked at him like, all right, bro.
But I mean, I think he's not really a natural playmaker, so sometimes that ability he's not really thinking about that, and a lot of players do struggle with that, right? If they're not real playmakers, they struggle to make simple reads like that. But if you have players like like Chris Paul, I don't like Chris Paul, but I got to give him credit on that. But Chris Paul and some of these guys who look to set up the offense, like that's an easy oop for those guys. They'll make that easy read for them to get those easy points, but. I mean, still, nonetheless, I think Kelly, the effort defensively, much much appreciated. But if the team can lock in and play defense, from start to finish, which is very very difficult to do, and also it's very very rare to see something like that, especially when the season starts afresh. But I think hopefully if they can get the other guys, if Paul George can come back, I mean, who knows what caliber of player he's going to be? But if he's going to be what he was defensively last year, I think that'll definitely help the Sixers on that side of the floor. But offensively, like I said, Maxey doing his thing. I think Maxey was second in scoring prior to the Brooklyn game, and the
Yeah,
Brooklyn
yeah, true.
game, yeah,
He's taking his form right now. Yep.
right, right. It definitely it dipped a little bit, but he's scoring very very efficiently. Right, he's scoring very very efficiently from the field and from the 3-point line and from the free throw line as well. And he's also making plays for these other guys, which has been very very impressive. Because I didn't expect Maxey to be making some of these reads and making some of these passes from last season. That's something that I doubted from him, and which is very very terrible of me, right, to doubt any player on the 76ers. But Maxey's starting to prove me wrong. And I mean, I think as of right now, I just want to see some consistency when it comes to the playmaking and making some of these reads and making
You ain't the only one, bro. You ain't the only one. I'm with you.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, last year it was a little bit confusing, but I'm glad I'm not the only one. But I'm gonna go through a few of these comments right here because the conversation has been very, very great. Salute to my guy Oscar. Appreciate you, Oscar. Hope you subscribe to the channel. He said, "Good stuff, bro. We gonna beat the Bulls tonight." Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I don't want to do any underestimating right now because the Bulls are playing some good basketball too. But yeah, just like RJ said, it's gonna come down to how good these teams play and how good the chemistry is for them to take down teams like that. They can lock in offensively, make the necessary plays, and also give effort defensively. I think they're gonna be fine. But Jared McCain is going to be playing, so I think that's a huge, huge plus for the Sixers. You know, salute to Jared McCain. Haven't seen him, but there's something that I got to get into, which I'm gonna probably address it right after these comments. Salute to my guy Joseph in the building. Y'all should definitely go check him out. He covers the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Browns on his platform, so y'all should definitely go check him out. Salute to my guy User. He says the only time Daryl Morey has been a good GM was to visit Tyrese Maxey. Bro, y'all funny, man. Y'all funny. Salute to Ore. Appreciate you, bro. Paul George returns to the 76ers practice. Hi, DFJ Hoops. Salute, salute, salute. Appreciate you, bro. If you've not subscribed to the channel, you can subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. You can also join the show, join the conversation if you want. But I want to focus on VJ Edgecombe for a second, right? Now, before the season started, I was one of the ones or one of few people saying that VJ should come off the bench, right? I did say that I wanted him coming off the bench because the role that Quentin Grimes is in right now, I thought Jared McCain was going to be in that role. I envisioned Jared McCain to be in that role, to be that Peyton Pritchard who can come off the bench and give you instant offense coming off the bench because he could score, he could shoot, and he can also play make. Right, he has an ability of a combo guard. That's Jared McCain. But once Jared McCain got injured and once it took the 76ers that long to sign Quentin Grimes, I think that possibility changed, and they really had so much confidence in VJ Edgecombe. They had so much confidence, even confidence that I didn't even have in him, and they were able to put him in the starting lineup, and he has been thriving ever since they made that decision. Right, which I think that was a bad take from my part because I didn't think he was going to be that nice, starting off his NBA career. But he was able to prove me wrong, right? He was able to prove me wrong. He got on the court and did a little bit of everything, shooting the ball very, very well, scoring, having the opportunities that he was getting. I think there was this one play against the Boston Celtics, which, they left him wide open and he made a three. And once he made that three, he realized how easy the game was. And, he started, dominating, like driving to the lane, dunking. Jaylen Brown couldn't even do anything with him defensively. And also, VJ Edgecombe was also establishing making his presence felt defensively as well, right? And which is very, 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 very pleasant to watch because the Sixers at first didn't really have guys that can athletic guards, right? They've lacked athletic guards for a long time, but
And
having
for real, for real.
but having a VJ Edgecombe, he's able to, operate in these pick and roll settings. He's able to get through the lane. He's able to make plays. And when he gets to the rim, it's just like you don't want to be on a poster with him, right? He's had dunks in every game that he's played in. Against the Celtics, he has some great dunks. Against the Brooklyn Nets, had an amazing dunk. And against other teams, he's also had some great dunks as well, which is very, very, it's very, very entertaining to watch. It's also very, 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 very impactful from him, right? Because like I said, the Sixers have lacked athletic guards for a very, very long time.
All right, one quick thing with that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I am loving everything I've seen from VJ, especially from a young player getting his confidence up, everything from there. My only thing is Nick Nurse has to yo, he can't run this man to the ground. You can obviously starting to see it in the layer of these games that he is clearly not used to playing 40 minutes a night, man. We
Right.
gotta stop that, bro. Because I look, man, we want to see him continue to have the same trajectory, but it's gonna be hard trying to play 40 minutes a night. You just coming from college and you only what college not even that they play half the games. They
Right.
probably only play like 35% of the games that NBA players do. Then you playing the back to backs. You can see that his aggressiveness kind of like calmed down in the last two games
Mm-hmm.
because he playing too many minutes and I'm thinking that what Embiid is kind of telling him on the side uh he not going he was like Nick Nurse going to play you, but what I think what
Mm-hmm.
Embiid is telling him like yo you got to pace yourself when you playing this game because
Right.
our coach is going to play you this many minutes, especially how good you are. So you just gotta, you know what I mean? Don't show it all in the first quarter, in the second quarter. So I think that's what he's kind of trying to do, trying to fill his way in. But
Mhm.
Nick Nurse definitely gotta have McCain ready because there's no way you could keep playing this kid 40 minutes, man.
40 minutes, right?
Like
Right.
it's just a recipe for disaster, man. It's gonna be the same thing what happened to the Knicks 2 years ago when you know what I mean, they beat us in the playoffs, but they 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 broke down against the Pacers. So
Right. Right.
we just you just don't wanna do that to your guys, man. And especially how young he is, you don't want to run these guys to the ground. So, and that's
Exactly.
why I'm like, we got all of these guards. Like, why is Maxi still playing 40? Like, I'm so confused. Why is he still playing 40? But I'm gonna give him time. I'm gonna give him time to adjust. But all these guys, you can't lead the lead in minutes and not expecting an injury waiting to happen.
Right. Oh yeah, I agree with you absolutely, and that's why I'm so like excited for Jared McCain to come back because I believe when he comes back, the guard depth is going to be very very dynamic, and then with that way you don't have to play Maxi all those minutes that you got to play him. I mean, on certain nights, on certain games, you might have to play him all those minutes, right? Especially when these games go into overtime and stuff like that. He might have to, pick up a few minutes, but once Jared McCain like gets back and gets through the minutes restrictions and all that, I mean you got four dynamic guards who can do a little bit of everything. I mean, depending on what you need. Now, obviously, if you need defense, you're not going to put Jared McCain in there, but when you need something like when you need a spark offensively, somebody to come off the bench, space the floor out and shoot some threes and also play make, Jared McCain is the guy to go to. And you can give Maxi a breather that way. And then you also got Quentin Grimes, and we all know how dynamic Quentin Grimes is, right? Offensively, he can create, he can shoot, he can get into the teeth of the defense, make plays, and also he can play defense. His defense is not as good as VJ Edgecombe's defense because he's definitely got size, pause if necessary, and he's also very very athletic and fast. And I think one thing that's very very underrated about VJ is that he has a very very high IQ defensively than people even realize. I think his IQ defensively is very very good. I don't know if you've noticed it or realized or observed it, but like when I watch him, how he's able to get through screens, stay on the hips of these offensive guys, I think is very very huge. And you don't see that from you
It's
know
the angles he take, man. I love the way that his hips turn, bro. Like especially when when the guy get past him on the screen, he's still keeping his hips square. He's
right,
still in front of him. So I love how VJ actually used his angles like he athletic, so he able to catch up with guys. So I love the way he move his hips and everything, man. Really
right.
good.
Right. Ability to recover even when he gets beat, like it's very, very impeccable. Like I said, you don't really see that from rookies when they come in the league like that. So very, very huge. But I got this question I want to ask you because like I said, I wasn't really all for VJ starting before the season started. But did you expect him to start and did you expect him to have this early success this early into his NBA career?
I'm a man. I'm telling you, something in the world is like, yo, just go ahead, pick this guy. But in my mind, I was like, I don't know, man. I was so down on the Sixers. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I didn't want. I was like, man, just trade the pick, dog. Just get another good player or whatever. Like, and that was my mindset.
Yeah, trade
But
down.
the yeah, so me, I'm the one person that didn't believe until I started seeing him play. And then no, what really got me on his side, to be honest, was his story.
Hmm.
Like I was like, yo, I understand the struggle. Like I understand that when he talking about that, like I was like, all right, I'm gonna let the young, I'm gonna just look out for the young boy. I'm not gonna put no expectations on him. I'm not gonna do anything. Then
Hmm.
I saw them and then you know what I mean, you start seeing them in the summer league. You like, I want to buy in, but no, it's summer league. And then you know what I'm saying. Then the preseason come, you like, bro, hold on now. Th- Let me not get hyped. Then you see
Right.
36 points. It's like, all right, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard for you to maintain your same energy that you had before.
Hmm.
Um, So when people be like, "Oh, you no, keep the same energy like that," you can't do that. I mean, opinions changes. You know what I mean? All of that start to evolve when when you have more information about a person. So
Right. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
yeah, and so like I was never expecting him to start, let alone average what he averaging about like 21, 20 points a game right now.
Yeah,
Come
20.
on, man.
Man, I didn't see this. I didn't expect this. Like he caught us all off guard, bro. And like I said, I was expecting him to come off the bench. Even though his story is very, very inspiring, like you said, but I expected him to come off the bench and try to earn his way into the starting lineup. But once he got on the floor that first game, like he really like I became a believer after that first Boston Celtics game. Like making like the plays that he was
I
making, how
agree.
he was scoring, like it was just
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't really expect that from him. And
I
you
like
see,
anybody that's not scared of Boston. You not scared. If you not scared of Boston, I'm rocking with you, bro. Like that
exactly.
one game we had from Quentin Grimes, I was like, oh, he ain't scared of Boston. I like Quentin Grimes. Okay. So I like any player that ain't scared of Boston, man, because usually the Sixers usually got guys that just they could beat any other team, but when they play Boston, they bricking for chicken, man. So it's
Yeah,
good to see that
and
that
especially to do it at the Garden too, like on the road.
yeah.
That was that's some
Especially when you got ugly Derek White guarding you, you know what I mean? It's hard to shoot against him. Like you like, yo, that boy ugly. That's all your mind is thinking of. So when you in your form, you like, bro, this dude looking at me and you know what I mean?
yeah,
You like, yo, man, that's Pennywise looking at me while I'm shooting the ball, man. It's just terrible. But no,
right.
we but no, we looking good, man. I never would have thought that a rookie would look this comfortable in the NBA this early. You know what I'm saying? It usually take them about a couple of games. You start seeing the rookie. You know what I mean, that's when the rookie race start taking off.
Mhm.
But it this year, bro, it's like a lot of rookies killing. So VJ not the only one, but VJ is the best one so far.
Yeah, yeah, right. Absolutely. He's the best one. As of right now, I think he should be number one in the rookie race, even though it's too early, but he's just had like immediate success as he got on the Sixers. His production has led the Sixers to the first or second seed. It's helped turn the Sixers around. So you definitely got to give him credit for that. Even though there's still a lot, he still has a long way to go. He still has a lot to learn. And one thing about him, I think he's not complacent, right? He's not complacent. He's willing to learn anything, and that's one thing that Joel Embiid said is that he asks too many dumb questions, and I mean it might be dumb to Joel Embiid because you've been in the league for about 11, 12, a lot of years, but as a rookie, like you really want answers to a lot of things, so you might be asking certain questions that some of these veteran guys might think it's stupid questions or dumb questions, but as a rookie, like you're very, very like intrigued. You want to learn. You want to figure out certain things. How certain guys are going to take you on this team and what to do to get liked by certain fan bases. And that's one thing I like about VJ, like his ability to pay attention to detail and also learn. I think that's something that it could really help him moving on in his NBA career. I don't know what you think about that, RJ.
He gonna be a different player, man. I think we actually got a generation. Now I'm not gonna say generational player, but I'm talking about a player, a franchise, another franchise player. Like he
Mm,
gonna be he. I think he gonna be next, bro. Like he does everything. Like and it's
right.
kind of hard to get in that praise from like guys like what's Draymond Green. Like I seen his
Yeah, Draymond gave
I
him
seen
praise.
yeah,
Paul
he
Pierce
gave
gave
him
him praise.
praise, and he don't really praise young boys like that.
Right.
So like when he said that, I was like, yeah, I see what he see. Like it's kind of hard to see those type of players. Like you see it early from like an Ant Edwards. You know what I mean? Like you just see that type of fire in him.
Right.
And I think that he gonna be the next guy. Like, of course, I hope we still you know what I mean keep this core with Maxi and him and
Mhm.
McCain, but I know I'm just saying, like, once time go past, he's gonna be the next guy, and from Maury, man, he should be encouraged to what he sees, and this team, man. So I believe in them. Um, I this is my first time saying that I believe in them because I was like, look, I don't want to buy into the team yet, but I'm gonna like I said, I'm taking it game by game because I don't like getting hurt, so I'm gonna just go ahead and just watch them like a regular team, like I watch the rest of the NBA. But
Mhm.
I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I'm hoping that we continue to keep this going because it's really good for the city, man. You can
Right.
see that you can see everybody buying in back into basketball because that's what we usually like out here, man. So I
Yeah.
I, I really I really hope that this continues because last year was it was so low, bro. Like we was over here like I can't even watch the games no more. Like that never been me. I
So,
couldn't get to the
yeah.
point where I didn't even know half of the team, bro. Like I was like, all right, bro.
Every game
Yeah,
there was a new player, Alex Reese, and all these bums playing for the Sixers. Are like, God damn, the Sixers had like
yeah,
35 different players play for them last season. That was terrible.
yeah. So coming into the season, we I wouldn't even expect, let alone 5-1, but we started off like a perfect record and Maxey scoring 40 almost every game and
Damn,
you
right?
you you know it gave a spark back to the city, man. And I think that's a good look. Hopefully we keep it going. I know it's gonna be a low part of the season. I just hope it doesn't last for so long. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
I think
um
I think the low part of the season might come when we're finally healthy, and then guys are trying to figure out their roles, and Nick Nurse is trying to incorporate guys into what they're doing right now. I think that's when the lows are going to start coming. Because
yeah,
I mean, Paul George hasn't played, McCain hasn't played yet, Embiid has been in and out the lineups. I mean, he's load managing or whatever. But I think
yeah,
that's when the lows is going to start.
yeah. That's my question to you. Like, how you think Paul George fit into this? 'Cause
I
this,
think I think when you get Paul George on this team, so you get another like shooter, scorer, shot creator that will add additional space to the team, right? Give Maxi a ton of space to operate with, give VJ a ton of space to operate with, and then also you get somebody who a defensive wing who can also lock up on the other side of the floor. Who just like we're saying for Joel Embiid, Paul George don't got to take 20 shots a game, right? He can get to his spots. You can use him off ball because he has that off ball ability. He can shoot. He shoots a high percentage when he's catch and shoot threes from the corners. Right. You can use him in those kind of situations, and then you can put him on top of the key and give him some ISO possessions because that's what he thrives with. Right. And
yeah,
with the Sixers, with all these guys being threats on the floor, you'd have to pick your poison. And if try to double team Maxi, somebody's going to be wide open, right? And then Paul George
yeah.
can definitely feed off of that. But I think he's going to be slow, right? He's not going to play with the same pace that these young guys are playing with, because I mean, he's 35, 36 years old. He's getting up there in age.
You
V,
know what I think they should do though? I think they should have two different lineups for and come at parts of the game. And,
mhm.
I think they should have a half court lineup. They should have some type of half court lineup, and they should have the guys that's going to run. And I feel like if they can just, I don't know how to coach that, but I feel like it should be two different lineup where it's like they got Embiid and they got Paul George, and they doing, what I mean, keeping the pace different. And then like when they like, all right, we gotta get on a run, we gotta, what I mean, pit Maxi and all of them come. I think they should have some type of thing, but it's gonna be probably hard to get some type of chemistry going on like that. But
Yeah, I think
either
if
way, bro, I
they
feel like if they can just mix it up instead
right,
of, because it's gonna be all right, then they're gonna start able to teams gonna start
figuring it out.
uh figuring out how to stop this fast paced offense.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I just want them to have a different dynamic to whatever that they have right now.
yeah, I mean, I think they got the personnel for that style you're talking about. I mean, especially once everybody's healthy, like you can have the fast guys, with the Maxis, the VJs, the Jerry McCains, even Adem Bona does. He gets up and down the court, even though he's not really involved in the offense as much. But these guys can run. I mean, Dominic Barlow, who I was talking about, can get up and down the floor too. And then when you get to the half court, because the half court offense, the half court team is definitely going to be vital, in the clutch, right? In the crunch time situations, like you will need that half court players, guys that can make things happen. You can tweak it, from time to time. And then I believe there's other guys that can play the fast paced style, and other guys that can play in the half court setting. I think Maxey can play in both. Quentin Grimes can play in both. But other guys, they have to you have to pick and choose when you would have to play them. Certain guys cannot be on the floor in crunch time, right? Certain guys cannot be on the floor, but other guys can be
Yeah.
on the floor. So,
I was thinking about this defensive lineup, right? Like
hmm
this lineup of Maxey, Edgecombe, Wofford, Paul George, and Embiid, and that may can be like some type of slower pace joint, but
yeah,
still give you some good defense. Because the Maxi defense has been a little bit underrated. People, and I know that we talked about the defense a little earlier, but you gotta think. I think it's more so that we're allowing a little bit more offensive rebounds, and it's seeming like our defense is worse than what it is. But it's just we're not getting those rebounds like we're supposed to be getting.
we're supposed to
Like,
be.
it's better, but it's still not there. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, that's absolutely that's correct. And I think that's when it comes to rebounding, I mean, you got to do it by committee as well. And that's where the Dominic Barlow, that's where he comes in, because that first game of the season, I don't know if you were paying attention to him. He was getting some timely offensive rebounds for us, and he was also
Love that kid, bro.
yeah.
Love him.
Yeah.
Love
I
him.
mean, what you think about him? I mean, I haven't heard you say too much about him. Like, what you
From
think?
what I saw, man, like I think didn't he get hurt on like the second game or something?
Yeah, yeah,
From
he
but
did.
what I saw, like I love his tenacity. He like the garbage guy. He used to, he like a way better Paul Reed. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that you can actually play basketball. That can actually play basketball.
yeah,
Like he like a Paul Reed, man. He get the rebounds. He always in the right position. Pause. And you know what I mean? He's a willing passer. And I like that. I like how he continue to find the right plays. I like those find the right plays type of guys. He remind me of like a
yeah.
lively
Right
off
place
the
at the right.
yeah, like he is certain guys that's like on certain teams that just you don't know why they really like playing NBA minutes, but they just do the work for them. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's
And
what. So I like him a lot, man. He like a Franz Wagner too, but with less shooting.
less offensive ability. I agree. The first game he had 5 offensive rebounds. I mean, think of that.
Yeah,
The
that was
70,
crazy,
that
bro.
was
He
crazy.
was cooking, man. He was cooking that game, and that's why I said like missing him is kind of messing us up with what we were missing on the defensive, like on the defensive rebounding.
Rebounding. Right. Right. Absolutely. I agree with you. I think if he's in the game, I mean, I think we'll be a much better rebounding team. Even though we still have to rebound as a team, like we got to do it by committee. Um, like when the shot goes up, like you should know what spots that you're in, and you should be on somebody, try to box them out and get those rebounds. So, and
But
I wish that Adem Bona can grab some of those rebounds too.
yeah, bro, he got stone hands, man. Come on, bro. I love Bone. I love what he been doing this year, but yo, the possessions could be we could be blowing teams out if he could just get the rebound, bro.
Bro, that's
Like
it.
Like I appreciate him like jumping for joy for no reason. He like that player that you played with two on 2K that just be
Yeah.
jumping for no reason. But he be getting the blocks for somehow. Like I appreciate those, but at the same time, like I rather him stay grounded so he can get the rebound.
Get
And
the rebounds, right.
he need to have some type of catching drill, bro. He can't catch like anybody that pass on the ball be dropping that joint.
Yeah, he got butter fingers.
Like I think it was doing the action with him, Maxie, and I think it was him, Maxie, and VJ. I think VJ set the screen for Maxie, and Bona was cutting baseline,
hmm
and so Maxie but did a bounce pass. He and catch the ball, and it helped the I think it helped I forgot who we was playing, but it helped him go on a run. I think it was the Magic. I think we
Yeah,
was
it was
playing the Magic.
Orlando. Right, Orlando. Yep, yep. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
sometimes
so
sometimes it's like he's not really expecting the ball, and then it comes to him, and then it's like he has no idea or no plan what to do with it, and it's just like, come on,
but you
bro,
gotta always be ready, man. You want
always
to
be
play, you
ready.
want to play some real money, you want to make some real money, you want to make some real minutes. You gotta be always ready, no matter what you looking at, man.
If you're trying to get paid, you got to convert these easy opportunities. Right? The defense is cool, but you got to add something else to it because like these teams, these front offices are going to look at your production across the board. They're not just going to look at your defense. They're going to look at you offensively and defensively. And
Exactly.
the Sixers don't really involve you in the offense like that. So when you get these easy opportunities, you got to capitalize off that. You got to capitalize off that.
Because if he could give me 7, 10, and maybe 2 blocks a game, dog, we cooking with something.
Yeah, we cooking like we have a bit like a big coming off the bench giving you that production. Like how many bigs give you double figures coming off the bench? You know, there's not too many of them. And he does get those opportunities, but it's just like he's not expecting it, or maybe I don't know if it's a confidence issue or he's not expecting to get the rock, or but it's just that you do be getting some of these opportunities. You gotta capitalize. You gotta.
Because if you ever noticed, like Bona got a little shot on him. I don't know if he ever want to just take the shot, but he got a little shot on him for real. He just got to get that confidence, like you said, man.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a confidence thing too. I think it's a confidence thing too, and I think they're probably telling him not to shoot. They're probably telling him not to shoot, but I mean, watch him like he gets all these opportunities. Cutting baseline, like you said, he gets opportunities as a roller, right? Rolling to the cup, and sometimes he's not expecting to get the ball, or he gets it, but the confidence, he's not really confident to try to convert, so he gives it up. But I mean, these are easy opportunities that you gotta capitalize.
I agree with that, man. We just continue to we continue to keep doing what we doing, man. We gonna be all right, man. I just want to just have this same like mindset where just keep watching the games. Whatever happens. But
Right.
I feel like it's better team, but I'm not gonna say, oh, we you know what I mean, we Eastern Conference champions and nothing like that. I'm gonna see where we at around March, and I'll probably be talking my shit. But right now, I can't be talking my shit.
Yeah, it's too early to make such a prediction. I agree with you. But there's one more player that I want us to talk about before, and it's Justin Edwards. I had some high expectations from him, but he kind of let me down in the preseason. But I
That
think
boy
he's
breaking for chicken.
back.
That boy, he breaking for chicken, man. Hey, dog, what's up with your man's?
Hey, I don't know what's going on with him, but I don't know if it's a confidence thing with him too. But I think there's something that he got to realize is that this year is not going to be last season, right? This season's not going to be last season. Last season he had a lot of opportunities because niggas was hurt and shit. But this year is going to be different because guys are healthy. They added other reinforcements to the team, so the forward depth, you're 6'8", you kind of like, the Dominic Barlows, the Jabari Walkers, the Trent Woffers, and all these guys. Like you're competing with these guys. So when you get in there, bro, you gotta make a huge impression on Nick Nurse, and you gotta produce at a high level, right? And the amount of minutes that you're given, right? You're not gonna play 30 minutes like he was doing last season. Like do the most that you can in the limited amount of time that you get. And I think that's something that he got to get used to, right? That's something he got to get used to because last season was, it was a little bit different. But this year, that's where the competition is because everybody's fighting for minutes. So when you get in the game and you're not playing good, you're not dominating. I mean, let me not say dominating, but you're not playing good. I mean, you might fall out the rotation, right? You might fall out the rotation.
Yeah, that's
It's
my
gonna be an
problem.
easy.
Like,
It's gonna be an easy
yep,
decision for Nick Nurse because, like, you're not doing shit. Other guys is doing more than what you're doing. So
yeah, and it's not just like him missing shots. It's him, people ripping him like he cookies right now. Everybody ripping the ball from him.
yeah.
Like, his dribble isn't sure, bro. He he not getting to the spot as easy as it was last year, bro. So it's just like it's looking like he don't know what he doing out there. It's like I don't know. And it's gonna be bad when PG come back and then you got Trendon Rockford take your minutes in PG. and
Right.
you gonna have Walker taking him in. So that's all the front court positions. And you got Kelly Oubre taking his minutes.
Right.
Come on, man.
Gonna fall out the rotation. And I was saying this before the season started. Like, I don't want him to be the next Ricky Council, because Ricky Council was in a position like that, and then he fell out the rotation, and it was game over for him. Right. Once we got all these guards.
Exactly, bro.
Right.
Exactly. He
Yeah.
will hit, man. He gonna pork around and Eric Gordon get more minutes than him.
Man, that's crazy. But I mean, we got a lot of forwards. I mean, they might be looking at at the trade deadline to bring in a few pieces. I mean, you might be an add-on
He
to
might actually be part of that trade
part of that
package,
trade.
man.
Yeah, just like I'm saying, it might be an add-on to a piece, like to attach him to a bigger piece to get a bigger fish. So I mean, I think he got to pick it up. He got to get it going. But it's just been disappointing because I really had high expectations from him from what I saw last season. I thought he was going to get better this year, but he's getting opportunities, but he's not making too much out of it. And I don't know if he needs 30 minutes to make a huge impact, but I mean, like, bro, you were undrafted. You weren't drafted, and the Sixers they have much better players. So when you get in the game, you gotta do the best you can. But
Yeah, he ain't gonna get those opportunities because everybody getting healthier, man.
getting healthy, yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know if that's what he's banking on, but that'd be very, very terrible. Like, you gotta compete with these guys. Now, even though it gotta be friendly competition, but when you get in the game, you gotta do the best you can, right? Even if you're gonna play defense or get on the rebounds, when you get those scoring opportunities, you gotta convert. But he'd be wide open, breaking shots, and it's just terrible, man. It's just terrible. I don't want him to be off the
Yeah.
team. That's all I'm saying.
I want him to win. I like he from the city, man. I want him to
Yeah,
win. It's just that I feel like honestly, you cookies, bro. Like you ain't everybody ripping you, everybody taking your lunch money. I don't like that.
right, exactly, exactly. And then even in the summertime, you had Jeff Teague saying that he better than Ace Bailey and all that. I mean, I don't even want to get into Ace Bailey, but just it's just been terrible. And I mean, I kind of saw this coming, because the preseason, he had terrible games against the Knicks, had a terrible.
Bro, I was thinking the same. I was like, yo, why he look like one of the guys that look like they supposed to be in the summer league? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
He looked like he's supposed to be with the blue coats,
With
bro.
the bro, I mean, that could happen if he keeps playing terribly. They might assign him to the G League to go get some minutes over there, and once you get there, I mean, it's
And
gonna be.
you know what? That made me nervous about Quentin Grimes because I was like, hold on, bro. If Justin Evers was looking like this, and he was playing against nobody at the time, like I don't know what Quentin Grimes was gonna look like, but Quentin Grimes was already a starter in his league. He's already good, so I can't put that on him. But yeah, that boy Justin Edwards, but he look he won't have that many opportunities left in his league, man. And you can definitely become a shadow. I don't even remember what happened to Ricky Council. Did he? What happened to him? I don't even think he got cut. What happened to him? Like I don't remember like we ever talk about Ricky Council. Never. I don't remember him like being released from the team.
Oh, he got traded to the Brooklyn Nets, but he got there and they cut him. But I mean, I expected that because I mean he didn't really have a good second year. I think his rookie year was more impressive. What he was doing in games, those blowout games where he came in and he was just like dunking on everybody, having some great success in transition and fast break, and he was just converting these shots. But in the second season, he wasn't really doing that. And I mean, I saw that coming. I saw the Sixers, cutting them or trading them, and that's what they did. And he's overseas right now. But I don't want
Well,
Justin Edwards to
you
end up there with him.
yeah, you know one thing that you forgot to say before you wrap it up. You ain't talking about the double big lineups, bro. Like how you feeling? How you been feeling about those?
The double big lineup. I think there's certain instances in the game where you would need that. I don't think we really need it all the time. I mean, especially when you got Bona who can play up on those guards, and you can utilize that double big lineup when you want to keep Joel Embiid like closer to the basket and have a Dan Bona hedge up on these guards, because he can hedge up on those guards and he can keep his own. I mean, hold his own because he got quick feet and he can make it very very difficult for these guards. I
Yeah,
think
he way faster, bro.
way
I
faster.
feel
And then
like
you
he should utilize him that way.
Right, and then you put Embiid closer to the basket because that's where he wants to be at, and that's where it's good for him to be at. Because when you have Embiid on the perimeter, it's going to be easy for these guards. They're going to drive past him because he's not as mobile enough. But Adem Bona, he can push up on these guards, make it difficult for them, and take up a few minutes on the clock and try to force the team to use most of the clock. So yeah, I think there are moments where you can utilize that double big lineup, but I don't think it should be the majority of the time. That's just my opinion. Other people feel differently, but me personally, I think like the last 6 minutes in the first quarter, I mean in the second quarter, you can utilize that lineup. But me personally, I'm not too
Yeah.
big on those double bigs. I don't really like
Yeah,
those.
it was. Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. I just like the change. Like, I can see that Nick Nurse trying something. That's what I like. I like that he was
Right,
just trying
experimenting.
something
Right,
different because
right.
I was like, bro, I didn't like nothing that he did last year. So I was almost ready for him to get fired too.
Yeah, you
So
was
I
calling
was
for his
like,
job.
bro, yeah. So I'm kind of glad to seeing like you can actually see that he's trying something certain stuff that's not working. He's trying something different. Like I
Right,
like it.
right.
So I'm gonna let you go though, bro. Appreciate the show.
Yeah. I appreciate you for stopping by, RJ. Appreciate you. I gotta get you your wrench, but I'm gonna probably do it later on. But I just want to talk about do a quick or brief recap on the Chicago Bulls and the Sixers game tonight, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. But the link is down there if you wanna hop on, you can get on the show. But the Sixers, Chicago Bulls. Ori says DFJ. I'm Ori from the Philippines. Oh, salute, bro, salute. I love the Philippines. Um, so you got two teams. They have identical records, right? They're both 5-1. The Sixers are playing very, very good. The Chicago Bulls are also playing good. I think the Bulls they lost to the New York Knicks. They beat the Knicks the first game, and then the second one they lost to them. They've been playing very, very good. Josh Giddey and those guys, they've been taking everybody they've been surprising everybody, right? They've been surprising everybody. The offenses look very, very good. And I mean, you got people taking shots at Zach Levine because Zach Levine was on the team and they never had this kind of success. Um, I mean, no, they did that year in 2022, but I think the Sixers can definitely take them down, right? The Sixers can definitely take them down. If they play the way they've been playing offensively, um, if they come out the gate aggressive from start to finish, I think they can pretty much take the Chicago Bulls down. Even though the Bulls have been playing some good basketball, they've been aggressive from the start too, as well. But um, I think if Nick Nurse utilizes the lineups that he's been utilizing, like the Sixers will they can definitely win, right? And then you got other guys coming in. You got Jared McCain, returning, even though he's not going to play too many minutes. But that's another guy, that's another body that you can throw out there to give you a different kind of look, right? To give you a different kind of look out there. And Maxey's going to do his thing. I think Maxey should be in the MVP conversations, right? I think Maxey should be in the MVP conversations, at least top five, right? At least top five. So Maxey, he's the player of the week, right? He's been the player of the week for the player of the week. So Maxey's going to continue to do what he's doing. I think VJ Edgecombe is going to continue to play at the pace that he's playing at, right? Edgecombe is definitely going to play at the pace that he's playing at, and if Embiid is going to play, I mean, who knows, right? I don't know if he's cleared to play. I mean, I'm assuming he's going to play, but if Embiid plays, yeah, the Sixers have a great, great chance of winning this game tonight. Right, they got a great chance. And Embiid typically, he plays very, very good against the Chicago Bulls. I remember last year, he had a stretch where he wasn't playing, and then he returned against the Chicago Bulls, and he got in there in the second quarter. He was just killing them with jumpers, right? Just killing them with jumpers. But looking at this Bulls team, I mean, Josh Giddey, the best player. Yeah, sorry about that. But looking at this Bulls team, I mean, Josh Giddey is the best player. He's giving you 22 a game. Vucevic is giving you 19. Trey Jones is giving you 12. Um, Ayo Dosunmu is giving you 13. I mean, he's giving you 16, and then you got Kevin Huerter, who's giving you 13. Hey, shout out to Kevin Huerter, man. Shout out to Kevin Huerter. Shout out to Kevin Huerter for lighting the Sixers up in Game 7 in 2021, man. Yeah, and they got Matas Buzielis. I hope I said that right. He's also giving you double figures. So they're playing some good team basketball. I mean, headed by Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey is a very, very dynamic player. He's very, very versatile, a triple double threat any given night. One thing about him is he's not a very good shooter, right? He's not a very good shooter. That's why OKC got rid of him. But when it comes to like scoring, setting guys up and setting up the offense, getting guys involved, that's something that he really does great at. That's something that he's very, very good at. He's about 6'7", 6'8", so he's able to see over the defense. But they're playing good basketball, right? Patrick Williams, he's coming off the bench. He's giving you 10 points a game. Patrick Williams was a trade target for the Sixers last season. I don't know what went into that, but yeah, the Sixers can pretty much take them down, right? The Sixers can take them down if they play very, very if they play as a team, right? If nobody goes rogue, and if they play as a team, they move the ball, they try to get into the paint, collapse the defense, and kick it out to open shooters. I think they can get easy opportunities that way, right? They can dominate that way and in that fashion, right? So yeah, and they have to lock in defensively. Now it's going to be a difficult task for whoever guards Josh Giddey. I think I think maybe VJ might start on him. I think VJ Edgecombe might start on Josh Giddey because Josh Giddey is a big body. He's 6'7", 6'8". So, you match him with another big body, right? So maybe VJ starts on him, and then, you got Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre might also try to get on him too. Yeah, took care of it. What's the keys to victory tonight? I think they have to play, collectively as a unit, do everything as a team. Offensively, I think if Maxey, they can. He said the plug caller. That's funny. But I think if Maxey, takes on, I think Maxey's gonna have to outplay Josh Giddey, which is gonna be very, very difficult. But I think he's gonna have to do that. They're gonna have to lock in defensively and get on those rebounds, right? They're gonna have to get on those rebounds because they got big bodies that can get offensive rebounds. Josh Giddey, like I said, is a triple double threat. He can get triple doubles. Vucevic is very, 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 very underrated big. Um, but yeah, I think if Maxey sets everybody up, scores when he has the opportunity to do so, gets in the paint, put them in foul trouble, and dish out to open shooters, I think they can take them down, right? But they're gonna have to get rebounds because I think Chicago. I don't know how many rebounds they're averaging, but I think Chicago's a very, very good rebounding team. Yeah, there you have it, 47 rebounds a game, right? Nikola Vucevic is giving you 12 rebounds a game. Josh Giddey, the point guard, is giving you 9 rebounds a game. So that's 20 rebounds. 21 rebounds just between the two of them. So they're gonna have to lock in on those rebounds. They're gonna have to secure the rebounds. Um, and then offensively, they're gonna have to hunt Josh Giddey when you have the opportunity to do so. Right? He should be the target every single time. Kevin Huerter should be the target every single time. Target these guys. Force them to guard on the perimeter. Right? When you target these guys, you're going to be able to get in the paint, dish out to open shooters. And then, Vucevic is not even a rim protector, right? So you can try to put him in foul trouble too, right? Put pressure on the rim. And I definitely think that, Maxey is going to put pressure on the rim. VJ is going to put pressure on the rim. Quentin Grimes is going to put pressure on the rim too. right? Depending on whether Embiid is going to play, I mean, who knows? But Embiid is also going to, if Embiid plays, it'll make the game much easier for everybody else, right? It's going to open up the lane for Maxey, open up some angles for him, make some reads much easier for him, right? VJ Edgecombe is going to get some amazing driving lanes too, so he's going to capitalize off that, right? But the rebounds is that's my biggest concern. I just hope they can secure those rebounds. If they can get the boards, they probably win this game, and they got to make their open shots too. So I would say secure the rebounds, make open shots, and be aggressive off the rip. I think that's the key. That's the keys to victory tonight, right? Aggressive from the start, secure rebounds, make open shots. I think that's the key to victory tonight. But yeah, it's easier said than done. But I believe they're gonna get it done. I believe they're gonna get it done. The Sixers are playing very, very good. They're on a run as of right now. Beating Brooklyn, that's not. I mean, Brooklyn is not a really good team, but the Bulls losing to the Knicks, I think that should give the Sixers, that should give them the motivation to kind of take them down again and solidify themselves as the first seed in the Eastern Conference. Because the Bulls will have two losses, even though the Sixers are the first seed right now, but the Bulls will have two losses, and then the Sixers will be the first seed in the Eastern Conference, which will be very, very surprising because nobody expected the Sixers at any point this season to be the first seed. Right? Nobody expected them to be the first seed. I didn't even expect them to be the first seed. So you just have to give them the credit that they deserve, and hopefully they can keep it up too. Man, the plug calling is crazy, bro. But yeah, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Salute to my guy, RJ, for stopping by. Yeah, hold on, let me do this right quick before I forget. I thought RJ was a mod, but I might be tripping, but yeah. Do this right quick. RJ, you're a mod. Yep. Yeah. I might as well give my guy BJ a wrench too. Yep. All right, there it is. Yeah, no problem, no problem. But yeah, I think the game starts at 8 o'clock. I hate those games, but game will start at 8 o'clock. I think the Sixers are on the road. The Sixers are they're on the road. So the Sixers are undefeated on the road. They beat the Celtics. They beat a couple teams too. So yeah, the Sixers. I am guaranteeing a Sixers victory. Psych, now I'm playing. But the Sixers have a huge chance, a huge possibility to win the game tonight. If they can be aggressive from the start, secure rebounds, make open shots, I think they win the game. Right? I think they win the game. So yeah, we got to. Now I don't know where the Bulls rank rebounding wise, but you got two guys that can get you double rebounds on any given night. I mean, that's definitely a threat. So and they're getting offensive rebounds too. So that's something that we gotta capitalize on. I mean, that's something that we gotta lock in on. I remember there was this, I think the 23 season. Man, that was crazy. We played the Chicago Bulls, and Embiid didn't play in that game. And they started PJ Tucker at the 5. And then in the first quarter alone, Vucevic had 7 rebounds. And I knew, after the first quarter, I knew they were going to lose. Right? I just knew they were going to lose. Yeah. When you had that 7 rebounds on the free, I knew they were going to lose. But, I mean, the Sixers as a team, averaging 43 rebounds a game. Chicago's averaging 46 rebounds a game. So that's something that they got to take notes of. Yeah, they're probably definitely top 10. Definitely top 10. Right, definitely top 10. I mean, let me look it up right quick. Um, yeah, so this could be a test for the Sixers because you get people saying that they ain't play nobody, they ain't play nobody. So I think this would be the first test for the Sixers. Right, this would be the first. I mean, even though they took down the Celtics, I mean, people don't really have that much faith in the Celtics. So yeah, the Chicago Bulls rank ninth in rebounding. And the Sixers ranked 14th in rebounding. So yeah, that's something that they gotta, yeah, the rebounding factor. But I mean, the Sixers are one of the best offensive teams in the league. They're averaging the most points, um, so far, right? 126 a game. And then the Denver Nuggets are second. So I mean, the offense, like I said, they're gonna score, right? The Chicago's not a very good defensive team. They're not that good defensively, so they're gonna put up points. They're gonna score. But defensively, you gotta lock into, right? The defense is where, especially those rebounds. If you can limit them to just one possession, that'd be huge. If you can limit them to one possession, that'd be huge. And we got to get some work in our POA defense and no dumb fouls. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And like I said, I think VJ might start on Josh Giddey. Kelly Oubre might look to get in some action too. Maybe Jabari Walker might also, you know, might get some action on him too. So, but I mean, I think yeah, Josh Giddey is going to be a handful, and it's gonna have to be a team effort. I don't think Maxey can handle that. Yeah, Maxey too little. He too little. So, that's how you. I think that's how you can beat them. Right, got to keep him in check because he's the engine on offense for the team. Right, he sets up the offense. I mean, also I mean, they got Ayo Dosunmu coming off the bench, also doing what he does. So, but the Bulls they a good team though. They're a good team. Isaac Okoro, Josh Giddey, Trey Jones. Yeah, I think Boozy Ellis is definitely he's going to be a huge. He'll cause problems, right? He'll cause problems. I think he's very very underrated. He's probably in his second or third season, but he's very very underrated. They got to keep him in check too. But even him, I mean, how many rebounds is he getting? Because I think he's okay. He's getting you 5 rebounds a game, so 5 rebounds. So yeah, that be aggressive from the start, make your open shots, secure the rebounds, and you get a victory, right? But that's where I'm gonna leave this at. Hopefully it's a great game tonight. I think it's gonna be a great game. These two teams are gonna battle for the first seed early on in the season, so it's definitely gonna be a good matchup. We're definitely gonna talk about this game tomorrow. I'm gonna do the post game reaction tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about it. This will be my first post game reaction of this season. Game number 7. Yeah, yeah. Appreciate it, RJ. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And salute to each and every person that tuned in. Salute to Ore, all the way from the Philippines. Salute, bro. Salute the user. I think this is A. I might be wrong, but salute to my guy BJ. Salute to Oscar. Salute to Humble Man 420. Salute to everybody, bro. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace.